In 2018, Atlassian announced a new project type for Jira Cloud called Team-Managed Projects. When you create a new Jira project, you choose between a company-managed or a team-managed template.
Team-managed projects were once called Agility, Independent, or Next Gen. Company-managed projects were once called Traditional or Classic. You'll still see these older terms in product documentation and internet articles. Here's a few differences between company and team-managed projects in Jira Cloud. Company-managed projects use schemes and are managed by Jira administrators. Team-managed projects are scheme-less and are managed by regular users. The user and admin interface is slightly different between the two options. Because company-managed projects use schemes, project settings can be shared between multiple projects. This allows you to set standards and use the same processes and terminology across many Jira projects. Another difference is that the company-managed projects use detailed permission schemes to set individual permissions for users, groups, and roles. Team-managed projects don't share settings, however. Any changes or customizations are specific to the project and don't impact other projects. And permission settings are different. In team-managed projects, you specify an overall access level instead of individual permissions.
So far, so good. But here's the scary part. By default, any regular Jira user can create team-managed projects, its issue types, and its custom fields. With this ability, there's no need to engage an application admin to make sure you're following an established strategy. End users can create new projects whenever they want and any way they want. Now, I cringe when I think about cleaning up all the new messes that end users will inevitably create. I've spent many years fixing poor decisions made by application admins, and now end users with even less knowledge and application management experience are unleashed on the config? For me, that's truly scary. Let's take a closer look at the team-managed project type.
It's important to know that the ability to create team-managed projects is configurable. It's a global permission, so you can decide who, if anyone, can create these projects. The default setting is public. Public means anyone on the internet can perform these tasks if you grant permission to the public group. Here are some challenges I encountered with this project type. First, I tried to create a new issue type in a team-managed project called Improvement. Then I created a test issue using that type. When I query for all improvement issues, Jira returns the example I created in a team-managed project, and another issue in another project. Do you see the problem here? Here's a hint. Look at the issue type icons. They're different because there are actually two different issue types named Improvement. The field in the team-managed project has a unique ID of 10097, an orange icon, and its description is for enhancements to existing functionality. The other type is used by multiple company-managed projects. It has a different ID, icon, and description. Will this duplication lead to confusion or future collisions? Probably. Here's another example to watch out for. Here I created a field called Date and selected the type as text instead of date or timestamp like it should be. It's a common mistake and end users are bound to make it. In the screenshot, you can see my lovely new field and its purposely ridiculous value. Users won't be able to properly sort or query data in this field, or use it to display data on timelines and features requiring real date values. Additionally, there's no 31st day in April in 2025. Since this is a text field, there's no input validation, and I can enter anything I want. And finally, what might happen if lots of users create lots of new projects? You might have 30 projects one day and 40 the next. Users might duplicate projects that already exist. In the screenshot, which of the 3 marketing projects should a new issue be created in? And how should end users know? users might create projects that don't really belong in Jira. Personal spaces are great in Confluence, but can you imagine if every employee wanted their own personal Jira project or two? Scary.
So, how should you handle team-managed projects? And who creates them?
In my book, the Jira Strategy Admin Workbook, I recommend creating an ambassadors group. It's a small team that represents your user base. They help when you need to execute impactful changes to your application or communicate the change request process. Use your ambassadors to disseminate information, answer common questions, and serve as a liaison between the application admin team and end users.
Existing project leads are likely good ambassador candidates. Maybe these same users can be trained and responsible for creating team-managed projects too. Or maybe you want to limit team-managed project creation to application admins. Here are a few team-managed project pros and cons to consider.
On the pros side, end users have more power, letting Jira admins focus on more meaningful work. This is helpful if there's a bottleneck in project creation, or if your admin team just isn't as responsive as they could be. On the con side, what are the long-term impacts of giving users more power? Will new projects, issue types, and custom fields impact usability? How will team-managed projects function alongside company-managed projects? How will reporting function across multiple projects if they are all configured differently? How will reporting be impacted when you now have a new custom field called status, 4 custom fields called assignee, or a date field created as a text field? Finally, changing a team-managed project to a company-managed type is not a trivial task. Don't forget to consider that impact and effort. So, what do you think? Are you open to end users creating and maintaining team-managed projects? And of course, there are other differences between project types, so I encourage you to check out the documentation for a list of differences and recommendations. Then, further explore the differences for yourself, in a test environment, of course.